Hello and welcome to Idea Television Midday News. I am Adewale Olashopo. We begin with the headlines. TINUBU, Nigeria will defeat terrorist economy improving. Smartphone costs still high in sub-Saharan Africa, GSMA report says. Madagascar president dismisses prime minister, dissolves government. And in Côte d'Ivoire, to recruit 2,000 science teachers to tackle shortage. Away from Africa, oil prices deep after Trump says Iran war could end very soon. In health, UCH doctors threaten indefinite strike over power crisis. In business, Volkswagen to cut 50,000 jobs in Germany by 2030. And Dangote cement sales drop in Cameroon after election unrest. And in sports, OSIMHEN tops Champions League player of the match standings. Still in sports, former Super Eagles coach FESTUS ONIGBINDE dies at 88. Now the news in full. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has assured Nigerians that the country will defeat terrorists and maintain peace and unity. He made this statement on Monday while hosting religious and traditional leaders for an interfaith breaking of the fast at the presidential villa in Abuja. Tinubu praised the role of religious and traditional rulers in promoting stability and moral guidance in communities. The president said terrorists are under pressure but stressed that Nigeria will not surrender. He also highlighted progress in the economy, noting that public finances have been stabilized. Pensioners are receiving relief and states no longer struggle to pay workers' salaries. Tinubu reaffirmed his commitment to investing in agriculture, education and other critical sectors to ensure prosperity. Meanwhile, traditional rulers and leaders from the 6 geopolitical zones attended the event. There too, Alhaji Yaya Abubakar and Archbishop Daniel Oko of the Christian Association of Nigeria pledged continued support for government efforts to strengthen security and the economy. In other news, a new report by the GSMA shows that smartphones remain largely unaffordable for many people in sub-Saharan Africa. The study released March 2nd says the average cost of a smartphone equals about 26% of monthly income in the region, compared to 16% in other low and middle income countries. The report says the high price of devices is a key reason smartphones ownership remains low, with only 24% of the region's population owning one, despite expanding mobile broadband coverage. Sub-Saharan Africa also accounts for 33% of the world's unaccounted population. To address this challenge, the GSMA and major telecom operators including MTN Group and Orange plan to introduce 4G smartphone priced at about $40. Pilot projects are expected to begin in 2026 in countries including Nigeria, Ethiopia and Rwanda to help expand digital access across the region. And now to Madagascar. The president, Michael Randarianirina, has dismissed prime minister and dissolved the entire government. The announcement was made Monday in a statement by presidential spokesperson Harry Rahajasan, with authorities confirming that a new prime minister will be appointed under constitutional procedures. The decision follows mounting political pressure and criticism from youth movements, including Gen Y and Gen Z group, who accuse the government of poor performance and worsening living conditions and shortages of basic services. Officials say ministry secretaries general will temporarily manage administrative duties until a new government is formed. The move comes during a transitional period launched after the 2025 coup that removed former President Andre Rajoelina, with a presidential election planned for 2027. Now, the government of Côte d'Ivoire has launched a recruitment drive to hire 2,000 contract science teachers for secondary schools, authorities announced on Monday. The initiative, led by Ministry of National Education, Literacy and Technical Education, aims to address growing shortages of the mathematics and science teachers across the country. Officials say the recruitment will cover 1,364 positions in the middle schools and 639 positions in high schools, mainly in mathematics and physics and chemistry. Candidates are required to apply online before March 15 through National Institute for Technical and Vocational Pedigree platform. The move comes as the country faces a surge in student enrollment, with the number of secondary schools rising sharply in recent years. Authorities further say hiring contracts teachers will help respond quickly to the shortage while managing pressure on the public wage bill. We'll go on a quick break now. The news continues when we return.
Robotic Process Automation, RPA. RPA is about automating repetitive tasks that typically require human intervention, whether it's processing invoices in the finance sector or automating customer service interactions. RPA is transforming how businesses operate. The benefit? Employees can focus on higher value tasks, while software bots handle the mundane stuff. However, RPA implementation comes with high upfront costs and requires maintenance. The RPA market is expected to grow from $1.89 billion in 2020 to $13.74 billion by 2028. But companies must balance automation with potential job losses.
Welcome back. If you're just joining, this is Idea Television Midday News. Now the rest of the news. Away from Africa, oil prices have dipped after the President of the United States, Donald Trump, said the ongoing war involving the United States, Israel and Iran could end very soon. Speaking on Monday, Trump said military operations were very far ahead of schedule and almost complete. His comments came after global oil prices surged above $100 per barrel earlier in the day. Following the remarks, benchmark oil prices dipped to around $90 per barrel on Tuesday, easing pressure on global markets. However, Trump also warned that the United States could strike Iran 20 times harder if Tehran attempts to block the Strait of Hormuz, a critical route for global oil shipments. Meanwhile, Iran has warned it could stop oil exports from the region if attacks by the United States and Israel continue. The conflict has already caused sharp volatility in energy markets, with analysts saying uncertainty around the war could keep oil prices unstable in the coming days. And out on the health news, resident doctors at the University College Hospital Ibadan, Nigeria, has threatened to embark on an indefinite strike in the hospital's management if the hospital's management does not resolve a prolonged electricity shortage. The warning comes after a one-week strike from March 2nd to 6th, 2026 failed to yield a lasting solution, and doctors say patients' care and training are being severely affected. Dr. Uthman Adedeji, president of the Association of Resident Doctors, said the hospital has been receiving limited electricity since February 2025 following disconnection over an unpaid debt to the Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company. Doctors are now forced to operate in unsafe conditions, with some staff collapsing due to heat and patients being denied care due to lack of water and electricity. The doctors have issued a 21-day ultimatum from March 7, 2026, demanding improved electricity supply. They stress their action is not for financial gain, but to ensure safe treatment for patients. The hospital is listed for planned solar mini-grid projects to stabilize power, but no implementation has begun despite government allocation. And now to business news. German automaker Volkswagen says it plans to cut about 50,000 jobs in Germany by 2030 as profits fall to the lowest level in nearly a decade. The company's chief executive, Oliver Blume, announced the plan Tuesday in the firm's annual report, saying the cuts are part of wider efforts to reduce costs across the group. The job reductions will affect several brands within the Volkswagen Group, including Audi and Porsche, as well as software subsidiary Cariad. The company said earnings after tax fell about 44% last year to €6.9 billion, pressured by weak demand in Europe, rising costs linked to electric vehicle investment, and declining sales in China. Volkswagen also cited trade tensions and tariffs introduced by Donald Trump on non-American car makers as additional challenges. The company says further cost reductions will be needed to remain competitive as it expects profit margin in 2026 to remain relatively low. So, sales at Dangote Cement in Cameroon fell sharply in 2025 following political unrest linked to the country's presidential election. The company sold 1.2 million tons of cement during the year at 14.1% drop for the 1.4 million tons recorded in 2024, according to its audited financial results. The decline followed disruptions to economic activity after the October 2025 elections, particularly in Douala, where the company operates a 1.5 million ton cement plant. The weaker performance also contributed to slight fall in the group's Pan-African sales volumes. Despite the setback, Dangote Cement says it expects demand to rebound in 2026 as major infrastructure projects move forward, including Douala-Yaoundé Highway and other road and bridge developments. The company is also considering expanding production capacity in Cameroon as part of a broader African expansion plan led by its founder, Aliko Dangote. And out to sports news, Victor Osimhen has made to the top of the player of the match standing in the UEFA Champions League following a series of strong performances for Galatasaray SK this season. UEFA confirmed Tuesday that the Nigerian striker leads the leaderboard with 4 Man of the Match awards, the highest by any player in the competition so far. Osimhen earned his latest award after scoring a crucial goal against Juventus FC, helping Galatasaray secure a dramatic 5-7 aggregate victory and qualify for the round of 16. The forward has scored 7 goals in 8 Champions League appearances this season. The 27-year-old currently leads several top stars in the standings, including Kyle Mbappe, Harry Kane, Erling Haaland, highlighting his growing impact in European football as Galatasaray push further into knockout stages. Still in sport, Nigeria's former indigenous coach of the Super Eagles, FESTUS ONIGBINDE, has died at the age of 68. His family confirmed that he passed away on Monday, just days after celebrating his 88th birthday on March 5th. The football icon coached Nigeria between 1982 and 1984, guiding the national team to a silver medal at the African Cup of Nations after a 3-1 loss to Cameroon in the final. He later returned in 2002 and led the team to 2002 FIFA World Cup in South Korea and Japan. Nigeria, however, exited the tournament at the group stage after defeats to Argentina and Sweden and a draw with England. Onibide later served as the special advisor on football to the Osun State government, with funeral arrangements expected to be announced by his family. Well, that's all we have for you now on Idea Television Midday News. But before we go, here is a recap of the headlines. President TINUBU says Nigeria will defeat terrorists and improve economy. Smartphone costs still high in sub-Saharan Africa, says GSMA report. Madagascar president dismisses prime minister, dissolves government. Côte d'Ivoire to recruit 2,000 science teachers to tackle shortage. Away from Africa, oil prices dip after Trump says Iran war could end very soon. And in health, UCH doctors threaten indefinite strikes over power crisis. And in business, we brought you that Volkswagen to cut 50,000 jobs in Germany by 2020. And Dangote cement sales drop in Cameroon after election unrest. Lastly, in sports, OSIMHEN tops Champions League player of the match standings. Also, former Super Eagles coach Festus Onigbind dies at 88. Well, do not forget to follow us across our social media platforms at Idea Television. I'm Adewale Olashopo. Thank you for watching.